Now, over the years at Chelsea, they've changed hugely, from the merest of trickles to enormous geysers. Let's remind ourselves of some of the wonderful watery delights. Tranquility, beauty, majesty. These creations have transfixed visitors and viewers alike. Babbling brooks, sparkling aquifers, calm reflective pools. Mere trickles, playful spouts, even swamps. Water in all its guises has long been a crowd pleaser. In the earliest days, the main show gardens were grouped around an area that became known as Rock Garden Bank, a grassed area at the edge of the site. The name came from the type of gardens designed and created there. Most were gardens perfect for the first popular water feature, the waterfall. Generations of kings and queens regularly admired them on their annual processions. Amateur gardeners love nothing more than a little bit of Chelsea outside their newly erected conservatory, with gentle water features bringing a garden a much needed focus. Newly opened garden centres fed the burgeoning appetite for water features, with koi carp filling ponds across Britain. With increased budgets from the 1970s for the show gardens, Chelsea saw the arrival of more ambitious ideas, including provocative and exciting plans for the use of water. Each year, designers vie to create ever more extravagant and creative ideas. Here are two remarkable examples from recent years.
I saw this garden last week when it was still under construction, and you knew when you came by that it was definitely a contender. It's a very bold structure, but it's the cleanliness of line, the strong shapes, the perfection in every detail that you look at.
All the walls are planted with moss pretty much, and then the water, it gives a sense of space, but it also gives a sort of sense that there's a world beyond this garden. The sound of it is absolutely delicious. It just trickles down there. And there's even water rippling over my head as I speak, and it plays with light, and it plays with texture, and it plays with colour.
But awareness in climate change has signalled a new approach to the way water is used in our gardens. Sustainable management of water is going to become much more significant, as I witnessed at Chelsea recently. This blue water garden is a prime example of what can be done. A subtle adjustment of topography to create a bold shape encourages any rainwater falling to flow through the planting beds and towards the decorative reservoirs at its heart. What they've done here is to simulate the roof line. The water drains through into a traditional gutter, into a downpipe and a water butt. And there's a watering can here where you can water if you need. But then any overflow goes down into a reservoir. But the really exciting thing is what happens when you want to irrigate, because this is linked to a series of geometric rills which are permeable. As the water flows down, the water enters the soil. This is an old technique. In fact, it's the very technique that was employed by the ancient Egyptians, that they were able to take, in their case, water from the Nile, pull the sluice gate, and suddenly the landscape was enlivened. And so water that has long been celebrated for its aesthetic appeal is now also being recognised as a valuable resource and for its essential life-giving properties that sustains all our gardens.